if you haven't guessed from the thumbnail or the title, is a video about Montegraph. So he made a video, who knows when, because I don't pay that much attention, but he made a video that Alyssa clipped 11 hours ago. Montegraph v. Rekieta, why Sean's wrong, Randazza perjured himself, ? And get learned. Court of Appeals, oral arguments. So he's going to try to learn y'all today, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to learn you back. I'm going to teach you why this old boomer didn't share anything with you. I don't know what Sean's opinion is. I have no idea what he said that's pissing, it's pissing Montegraph off, but it is going to be about how Randazza perjured himself and why he did, based on the documents, which is the school he takes us to. I think he mentions 4 or 5 different documents from the record. I also pulled up 4 or 5 other documents from the record so that we can fully look at what's been going on in this case. I'm doing this video mainly so I can put on the record, today is Leap Day, February 29th, and I predict, based on watching this video 98% of the way through one time, I predict Monty is going to sue Schneider. Because of the way he's speaking right now, it makes literally no sense why he's saying these things. It feels to me that he's setting up his ineffective counsel. I don't understand. I really don't get it. So what he's gonna, let's just watch it, I guess, and we can get the gist of what he's saying here.
Of Montegraph versus Rekieta law. Again, this case is going to go to the Supreme Court. I just feel that it will. I know that it will, for sure.
So he's saying, let me make this bigger. He's saying he knows that this will go to the Supreme Court because both he and Rekieta have both stated that they will not let this go. So Rekieta thinks he wants to be the one that sets the precedent on you can have 100% First Amendment rights, that reputation is not worth protecting. I don't know. I guess that's what he wants to go for. First Amendment purist. And then this guy, he's saying, you know, if we lose at the appellate court, then, and at the district court, then he's also not going to let it go. As we'll hear, Montegraph doesn't understand some of these words, but he will learn us and pull up a dictionary.
And the reason why is because this is a reputation of your global reputation. It sure is. It's not state against state, or is it? Well, a lot of people would believe that it's state against state. And once again, a potential criminal or potentially criminal, however the hell to say his name, his screen name.
Do you like that walk back? Because he knows Sean's going to see this. You don't want to call him potential criminal because you don't want to accuse him of being a criminal. Have you read so much defamation law that you're a professional at this?
Made some sort of statement that I shouldn't be making public statements that would deem him wrong. That's the way I took it. Well, that's just too bad, buddy. I've been quiet all this time. Now it's my turn to defend myself, my fantastic name.
Another point we're going to disagree on. I'm about a minute into this. I said I wasn't going to interrupt too much, and that's just because I lied. It's hard to get through when Monty looks straight at the camera and lies, and then he looks back at himself to see if it was believable, and he's like, oh yeah, you're nailing it. You silver fox, you.
And I'm going to do it right now.
He didn't have a good reputation, for the record. Nick Rekieta didn't have to say what he said. His reputation definitely is long known, long before Rekieta told his audience about it. And in his filings, you can see that, because he says back in 2019 is when this all became a problem for him, when he sued this other dude for the same thing. So your reputation that some morphonius dude knew or assumed or whatever about, that's how Nick learned about it. Do you think both of them just randomly had this thought to talk about Mr. Mountain Melon? Really? That's just a story they both made up on their own. That's weird. No, your reputation was this, and Nick maybe didn't do enough due diligence to see if the interwebs got it a little bit wrong. And I say that because Nick said that you made a snuff film with a little boy. And even if he thought it was a snuff film, highly unlikely at this point, even if he thought it was a little person, highly unlikely. Those two things don't make any sense. But we know that it was a girl. So when he said that, we can know he never watched it. He got his opinion of you from the freaking internet, which is unfortunate, which is also karma, because right now Nick is trying to fight his internet reputation. That's karma, I suppose. Keep talking to me, Monty.
And I'm going to show Sean and the entire class that you're wrong, Sean. Apparently, you know nothing about the case at all.
Yeah, Sean.
Because now I'm going to show you the truth. I'm going to show you in writing so you can get it through your head.
He's really not. He's going to tell you he showed you.
That the words coming out of your wrong.
I'll show you what it looks like when someone shows you something.
Okay? So pay attention, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting there telling everybody
Shut up.
that maybe I shouldn't be discussing this. Maybe I should talk to my counsel and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, you're listed in the case, Sean.
What does he mean by Sean said he shouldn't be talking about this? Monty just told us when we started that this is the first time he'll be talking about this. It's because he deletes all his videos because he's afraid about the dumb shit he's going to say. What's in this cup? Coke? Coca-Cola? Coca-Cola. I'm not trying to besmirch you, old man, but this seemed like a drunkado rant.
And you did a live stream on the topic. Maybe you should practice what you preach.
I did. I will agree with Montegraph here. It's really strange that Sean went the route of Noel, which is kind of like a middle finger to Ricada. You know, that's interesting. But then Ralph? Like, what? It is very strange that that's the route that Sean took. But again, clout will not chase itself. That has been established. That is on the record. Tell me more, Monty.
Maybe you should have taken your own advice.
Yeah, Sean.
So now you are going to get learned. You got that?
He's
So
not.
pay attention, Sean.
Spoiler alert.
You ready?
He's ready.
Here we go again.
Okay.
This is a tweet that was made from my October Rains channel.
Okay, we went to Twitter. Not where I thought we were
On
going.
X or Twitter, whatever the hell you want to call it. Now let's read it together, Sean, shall we?
Yeah, Twitter.
In this tweet that was made late this afternoon, like I said, it's on docket. Let me hold your electronic hand. Again, why is Colorado anti-SLAPP being used when Monty is in Illinois? Do chime in.
Why it's on the docket that why is Colorado anti-SLAPP being considered when Monty is in Illinois? Okay.
You can get the exact information from the docket.
Let's go to the
So let me hold your
record. Yeah, the docket's like, never mind. I don't know anything, but I'm pretty sure. I thought the docket was like the calendar, but what do I know? Actually, you know what? We're going to Google it. Let's take ourselves to school. Dear Internet, what the shite? Please define a word that I'm unfamiliar with. A calendar or list of cases for trial. Okay, Derpy, you should have taken yourself to school before you tried this. I don't even know the word, and I knew the word. Should I show you? Let me show you what sharing this actually looks like. When somebody says, I'm going to share with you and show you, it's just a button. I just have to click a button. Look, one more button. We're back to Monty. But, class, this is what happens when somebody's trying to lie to you. So yeah, docket. Define docket. North American English. A calendar or a list of cases for trial or people having cases pending. So he means the record. We'll just let him boom his way through this.
your electronic hand, Sean.
Let me hold your
Point it out
electronic hand. I wonder how long he's been using that insult. Because when I first heard him say it, let me hold your electronic hand, Sean. I was like, that's funny. How about now, Montegraph, I'm going to need you to hold my electronic pocket. I'm going to take you to school. It's a short bus, so don't you worry. You'll be cozy, comfy, just like the olden days.
It would be 4/26/23. Now, what
I'm so sorry, but is there a damn? Let me just ask the internet. We'll do this together. Define 2020. Oh, it could speak Monty. Apparently 20 means 20. Enough retards say 20 that even Google's like, here you go, numbskull. All right, 20. Got it.
month would 4 be? See, January, February, March. That would be April, Sean. That would be April, Sean.
Yeah, Sean, that's April, obviously.
April 26th of 2023. 23, that a year ago. 26th of 2023.
2020 sounds like a crunchy ass year. I'm not gonna lie. 2023.
This is signed by Mark J. Randazza. There's a signature right there.
Okay, I'm just going to. This is April 2023.
April 26th of
26th. That was April 3rd that I just showed you. Show this instead. This is April 26, 2023. This is the letter that Randazza filed with the court to the judge. There's another letter, extremely similar to this one. This is where he's going to get this quote from. You'll see the court will recall, blah, blah, blah. There is another letter that is an attachment. What is this? To his, the thing he's reading where he's like, it's signed by Randazza. That's this. Mark Randazza's signature. So this is what he's not showing you. I don't know why. He doesn't know how, I guess.
The court will recall the misrepresentation made in the complaint and amended complaint. Amended, that was, you know, when you make things up there right on the second hand. In other words, when you're making your second, I guess, complaint, right?
It is when you're making your second, is when you're fixing your complaint. Right. You're right. That was you, by the way. Feels like he doesn't know this is him that amended the complaint, but it was him.
About Quest's state of residence. In response, Schneider responded, not by admitting or error or providing actual evidence to corroborate Schneider's claims that Quest was an Illinois resident, but rather attempted to downplay whether is either his knowing misrepresentation or lack of due diligence, and feigning surprise that the residence of the plaintiff could possibly be an issue in a case of involving multi-state parties. Here we go. This is the big factor here, Sean. See supplemental affidavit of David W. Schneider, filed February 22nd of 2023. No further misrepresentations shall be continuanced. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Now pay attention, Sean. You see that filed February 22nd?
Let's just see that we see it filed February 22nd. February 22nd. Let's see what else he says.
2023?
2023, yes.
Well, once again, it's in writing.
It's in writing that what is this? Okay, this is what I never understood. Let me show you what's happening here. He's quoting us. The court will recall the misrepresentation made in the complaint and the amended complaint about Quest's state of residence. There was a misrepresentation in the claim and amended complaint. In response, Schneider responded by admitting error, not by admitting error or providing actual evidence to corroborate Schneider's claims that Quest was an Illinois resident. He's saying in response, Schneider didn't say that he wasn't a resident. Rather, he just tried to downplay the significance of him being a resident of Illinois instead. And we're going to show you the letter because it's cited here. What's this guy? Montegraph just said, see supplemental affidavit of David Schneider filed February 22nd, 2023. He's saying, first of all, he gave him an opportunity to fix this already. This that you're looking at is the private letter that he wrote. No, I'm sorry. This is the private letter that he wrote. He writes his attorney and he said, hey, David, I reviewed your opposition to the anti-SLAPP motion, but there are several issues in it that need to be addressed that I'm going to address in the brief. There is a rather important one that I would prefer to discuss between us before making it an issue before the court. I offered to allow and amend it before we responded. He allowed them to amend their complaint. You took me up on that offer and submitted an amended complaint. That exercise was intended to allow you to cure any deficiencies that were in the complaint. I never suspected that one of them would be outright knowing material falsehood regarding the plaintiff's residence. I'm a bit surprised, even after amendment, this material falsehood remained in the complaint. In both iterations, you signed a complaint that said Quest resides in the state of Colorado. We then made significant arguments relying on that representation, which the complaint filed February 7th, 2023. Plaintiff Steve Quest is an entertainer, artist, and video producer who resides in the state of Colorado. Let's just find out who signed this document before we move forward. Okay. February 6th, which school, class, Sean, is before February 22, 2023, where David Schneider, Montegraph's lawyer, has signed under oath and made this to the court that the parties, one being Steve Quest, is a resident of the state of Colorado. What Monty didn't read to you was the beginning of the letter. Here's the end of the letter. This is all he read to the class. He didn't read any of this. This was in February. They don't address the court. Randazzo won't take this to the court until April, where they're like, okay, here we are with the exact same things I told them we would address. So to say that you're going to argue later that, like, why are we even talking about Colorado? Well, I don't know. Let's see what your attorney said about it. See supplemental affidavit filed February 22nd, 2023. So he just asked us to go here and look at this. At least this guy did.
See supplemental affidavit of David W. Schneider filed February 22nd of 2023.
Yes, sir. We will go see the supplemental affidavit David Schneider filed February 22nd, 2023. In it, your affiant, David Schneider, Mr. Monty's lawyer, I received a letter from email from counsel for defendant Mark Randazzo today. That's the letter that you saw. That's the one he sent him personally that said, hey, what the hell's going on here? Why suddenly does he not live in this state? What's going on? He said, Mr. Randazzo stated that I or Mr. Quest or both of us have lied in the initial pleadings served upon defendants. He has characterized my initial pleadings, the complaint and amended complaint, as deceitful on the issue as to where my client Steve Quest resides. I affirm under threat of penalty and sanction, I have not lied to the court or engaged in any deceitful conduct. At the time I drafted the complaint and amended complaint, I knew Steve Quest used the Colorado mailing address disclosed in the affidavit as he provided it to me upon retention. I also knew when I was speaking to him by phone that he was in Illinois. However, I never received a mailing address for him in Illinois. I always understood the reason he was in Illinois was because he was attempting to evade agents of defendants and possibly other like defendants who had harassed, stalked, and harmed Mr. Quest. Rich coming from a guy who threatens this nonstop. I do not know or believe until defendants filed their motion that Steve Quest did not intend to return to Colorado. The few times I have mailed documents to Montegraph, for instance to obtain signatures, I have used the Colorado address and he has received them and responded to him. I understand and respect Mr. Quest's desire to hide out, which isn't the same as reside in. With the Minnesota Appellate Court decision and Minnesota Supreme Court decision in mind, Plaintiff Steve Quest's actual residence and in which state he resides is irrelevant and failure by me to correctly state in a pleading where the plaintiff resides was not made in bad faith. I'm sorry, who said? Your lawyer just said that it was irrelevant which state you're in. That's why he didn't say it. So when you say this is a state-to-state matter or a whole world matter because you got a great reputation, you might want to talk to your attorney. What else? I practiced law in Minnesota since 95. I admit I have been wrong before and I may be wrong again. Wait for it to end for your lawyer. Whose signature is on this on February 2023, February? David Schneider, Monty's lawyer, which he just implored us to go look. Yeah, he's referencing the fact that you sign for and get mail and represent that you were just staying in Illinois temporarily while you were hiding from Rekieta, which really makes no sense about why you showed up in his chat to gloat on him getting kicked out of the internet. Maybe you forgot the internet is forever.
No further misrepresentations shall be continuanced. Really? Now pay attention, Sean.
Yeah, Sean.
You see that filed February 22nd of 2023? Well, once again, it's in writing on February 22nd, which would be more than a month before this was stated. So here's the problem you have, Sean. When somebody asked you if it would be defamation of me making these claims that the opposing party lied in court, this tweet here is really going to make you mad.
So that's the question for Sean. Would it be defamation if Montegraph is making claims that the opposing party lied? I don't know what Sean said, but he is literally walking us through why he thinks this. There's no defamation. The fact is he believes this. He's done due diligence. He's shown us the math. Come on. I don't know what Sean said, but
in court,
he's not proving whatever he's doing here. He's not proving this. I don't know what the hell this has to do with his state of residence.
This tweet here is really going to make you mad because this document, once again, was provided by Mr. Randazza.
Yeah, he said he was sick of you lying and wanted to ask your lawyer if there were any other lies. You know, since you're pretending to misrepresent or you've represented that you live in Colorado. And your lawyer didn't think it was a big deal.
You got that?
Yeah.
Here, let's go ahead and read it together.
Again?
Here we go.
Okay.
Here is the document. Let's go ahead and read it together.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Let's do it.
This is an excerpt from. Pay attention, Sean.
Okay.
This tweet was made on the October Rains channel at 6 p.m. sharp, my time. The October Rains account is also mine on the Twitters.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yep.
Oh, look. I wonder what 3 appellate judges would do if they found out that the defendant's attorney knew that the plaintiff's domicile was located in Illinois at the time that the defamation per se occurred.
How the hell? First of all, I didn't even know we went on that side track. You're trying to say that now Rekieta knows where you live and that Illinois is where you live and he knew that? Okay, I'm back on board. Let's see.
Wow, that's a bold statement. Huh? To admitting laziness and running with the Colorado anti-SLAPP anyway.
Bro, you served him. You served him and told him you were in Colorado.
So let's go ahead and read what Mr. Randazza wrote himself.
Okay. Now
this was filed in the District Court of State of Minnesota on February the 22nd of 2023 at 11:53 a.m. Go look at the docket to verify.
February 22nd, 11:53 a.m. Randazza himself. This is the same thing that we read.
Now that such residency has become inconvenient, Quest claims that he is secretly living in Illinois. That's problematic for him. No, it's not.
Now that such residency has become inconvenient, Quest claims that he's secretly living in Illinois. This is where we're at on the document.
You know our position about the most significant relationship test.
Mm-hmm.
We believe that it still requires application of Colorado law. However, it might now require the application of Illinois law, which would require significant additional research and writing to address this issue, which would have been addressed had the initial or amended complaint been truthful.
Right. Had you said you were a resident of somewhere other than Colorado, they would have looked into laws other than Colorado. So they're saying, before we go any further, this is, by the way, the letter to his attorney. If we go further, what else isn't true? Because you're just wasting time. We need to research different laws if you're going to be playing in a different state. Either way, Randazza always sought to put it in whatever state you're in. At least he's consistent as far as that goes. But there's something that's not being told here. Where the heck is it? Here it is. So he has said this date so many times, February 22nd, 2023. So why? Let me share this again. February 22nd, 2023. February 22nd, 2023. I wonder why this is coming up on this day and never before this day. I want to find what happened on February 21st, 2023. And I found this. February 21st, 2023. What has it that your affiant, Mr. Steve Quest, has brought to the court's attention? I, your affiant, Mr. Steve Quest, does hereby state, allege, and affirm that I'm 59 years old, was a resident in the state of Colorado. However, I moved to Illinois on June 2nd, 2020. Oh, I guess this is probably what prompted the lawyer to go, what in the hell is happening right now? You've sworn that he lives where he lives. And now he's coming in to say he doesn't live where you've told us he lives. Let's keep reading. What else does this document say? I might not have highlighted anything else. We're going to find out together. 9. Things changed. This is Monty. Things changed when defendant Rekieta through his online program, falsely accused me of being a pedophile. I believe he had heard such rumors from others, which is a really interesting thing to add here. He told his audience that I do all this shit. Again, I moved to Illinois to get away from those who follow defendants. Demonstrably untrue, because he showed up when Nick was getting yeeted off the internet, put everyone's names in videos, called out lawyers that couldn't give a shit less about Monty, and tried his best to get into the defendant's orbit. So if he was so afraid, what's going on here, Monty? This is 18 pages of Monty. Montagraph versus Pac-Mail wearing masks, the sheriff of YouTube. This is not... Sheriff of YouTube, this is not Rekieta. This is not even a Rekieta person. This is somebody he's been having a beef with that I guess is stalking him, so he's going to blame that on Rekieta. I don't know what's happening here. Tell me more, Monty, about how wrong you are. So the day before any of this happens, Montagraph pops up and is like, hey, I don't live in Colorado. And then, which Randazza sends a letter and is like, oh shit, you don't live in Colorado. Hey, what in the hell? In both iterations, your complaint and your amended complaint, you swore that he was a resident of that. Now that it has been inconvenient, Quest claims that he's been secretly living in Illinois. That is problematic.
What I'm stating here, Sean, is that Randazza believed that I was in Illinois.
The fuck he did.
How I know that as
Tell me.
fact.
Tell me, factoid.
Randazza believed for a fact that I was in Illinois.
Why?
You know why he believed it?
No.
Because I signed an affidavit under oath stating that I was in Illinois, knowing that I could back it up.
That says you better believe me or I'm going to scramble your eggs. Look. He's telling us that he knows for a fact that Randazza believes it because since Monty swore in an affidavit, it must be true, even though we have the same, I mean, let's look at something that Monty swore to. I'm sure there's a complaint here somewhere. Let's see, what has Mr. Schneider sworn to as far as the parties are concerned? Quest is a resident of Colorado. So he has a lot to believe here, Monty. What we can know for sure Randazza believes, and unlike you, I can prove it to you. This is summary judgment is proper under Colorado slap law. This is Randazza. Let me just scroll to the top so you don't get confused what's happening. After that, after you said what you said and said you lived in Illinois, and instead of answering directly, as has been the case, your attorney has responded through the court, which is completely fine. Randazza has filed this on Nick's behalf. After that, stating what he actually believes and signed his name to. And it says, summary judgment is proper under the Colorado anti-SLAPP statute. Defendant filed a motion for summary judgment invoking the Colorado anti-SLAPP statute. Upon realizing that Colorado had an anti-SLAPP law, all of a sudden, plaintiff decided he is actually an Illinois resident. Meanwhile, he pled that he was a Colorado resident in his complaint and maintained this even after amendment. When called out on it, his counsel admits to this materially false allegation of fact, but strangely argues that it was immaterial in the Schneider supporting affidavit. No matter, there are no genuine issues of material fact precluding summary judgment in favor of the defendants, whether under Colorado, Illinois, Minnesota, or any other state's laws. This is what Randazza believes. This is a footnote. Although he claims to receive his care in Illinois, such is unlikely as his provider would have to be licensed in Illinois. See Telehealth Act 225, Illinois CS 155. 155. I don't know that. Ms. Steinbeck is a social worker. See Life Stance Provider Karen Steinbeck, Exhibit 21. In search of the Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulations license, lookup page shows no one named Steinbeck as a licensed social worker in Illinois. What else did Randazza say so you can know for sure without having to guess what Randazza actually believes and thinks? Here we go. April 3rd, Mark J. Randazza actually believes you live in Colorado. And your lawyer argued it. You all are going to argue it. The judge is going to make her decision. And here we are in the appellate's court arguing choice of law and application. So it's weird that you're like, why are they even talking about Colorado? I don't know. Talk to your attorney. Why does he not think it's important? Again, Monty's going to sue Schneider. Ineffective counsel. I don't even know if you could sue for that. Tell us more, Monty.
You got that?
Mm-hmm.
And how would I know for sure that Randazza believed that I really was in Illinois? Well, let me read it to you again. Let me read this part to you again. However, it might now require the application of Illinois law.
If you're going to try to claim this,
which would require significant additional research and writing to address this issue.
Which came up yesterday in their world.
Did you hear him burp out the state of Illinois at all? Not even once today?
No. Neither did your attorney.
At the appellate court? Not once. Well, why not? You stated on the 22nd of February of 2023 that I was in Illinois.
You stated the day before that you were in Illinois, derp shit. He responded by saying, whoa, this is news to anyone who's been paying any attention. What's going on? And then he submitted to the court, because he's not talking to you like you're not talking to him, the fact that he doesn't actually believe that, but also followed it up with, regardless of what I believe, I don't mean to make you sick, Boomer. Close your eyes for this part. I'll take a trip to the top of this roller coaster. No matter, there are no genuine issues of material fact precluding summary judgment in favor of defendants, whether Colorado, Illinois, Minnesota, or any other state law. He's not saying you live where you live.
Not mine. Not my attorneys. That's Mr. Randazza's writing. He signed his name to it. He sure did. Matter of fact, in that document, he's trying to put the squeeze on my attorney for extortion.
What?
That extortion letter was put out there by my attorney complaining to the judge about it. Go.
So he complained about what he assumed was an extortion letter. He's allowed to think this. It's fine. And he's got his, his little rabbit trail he can follow back to where he got down this weird place.
Oh, check, Sean.
Sean.
See, that's the compounding factor here. He knew for a fact I really was in Illinois.
No, he didn't.
He knew I could back it up because you know what? My record and the October rains, that's the great October rains, will show you that my docs are 99.7% accurate. In other words, I'm not going to make a statement unless I can back it up.
You just did 10 minutes of not backing up your bullshit. But see, when you lie to someone's face and you look them in the eye and you pretend that you're giving them and reading it from them, bro, you started this by saying, let's go to Twitter. Go to Twitter? What are you talking about? Go to the friggin', okay, real fast. I'm going to show you how hard this is. Share this instead. Let's go to Minnesota Appeals Court. I'm going to show you how hard this is. Oh my God, it'd be so hard if you guys wanted to do this and like look this up. You'd have to like access case records. Oh my gosh. Oh no. I have to choose now. Should I go to the trial court where he's looking at all these docs? Do I go to the appeals court? Let's go to the trial court because, oh my God, another link, another clicky button. This is so hard. Access the records. Oh my gosh, look at all these buttons. Yeah, fine, I accept. Okay, then you get here and you're like, what in the hell? I'm actually lost. Okay, at the top, case search. Case name, Ricada. Fine, it's found 2 Ricada things. 1, speeding ticket, not going to care about it. The other one, this case, view case details. Oh my gosh, and now we're here. It's almost like that's all you needed to do to view these documents for yourself and not let this old boomer tell you what they say. Look, there's his affidavit where he's like, hey, by the way, I'm in Illinois. Wait, what? How far down are we? Because we've been through all these months. You filed in December and you just remembered where you live? Interesting, dude. So yeah, it's really, really difficult to share docs, I swear.
Do you know I can prove that Randazza knew for a fact I was in Illinois?
I'd like you to try.
Why didn't he demand proof in writing? Why didn't he demand a prescription of medication that I was in Illinois? Why didn't he demand a hotel bill that I was in Illinois? Why didn't he?
What? Don't tell me you were staying at a hotel and claim it's your residence, you dipshit. I bet you this video's already gone. He's probably in the process of making sure Alyssa gets herself clipped. He's probably the one that, oh my gosh. Did you guys, never mind, that's a conspiracy theory.
Demand some sort of medical emergency, anything that I was in Illinois, a bill, utility. Why didn't he demand it? Because he knew I had it. And he knew if I presented it unequivocally, he could not bring the anti-slap of Colorado.
You clearly didn't even present it to your attorney. Your attorney still doesn't know your address. He admits it in the documents. He thinks it's irrelevant. He thinks it's interesting in your words that Ricada has his address and you don't. Or has your address and he doesn't. That's how I meant to say that. This is so dumb. But he's staring at you in the ass and you know, that's that. I wouldn't look you dead in the eye if I was lying.
Go to that damn appellate court or to any court. That's why I didn't ask for it. You got that?
No, I don't.
So here's a question. All you somebody lawyers out there.
Lazy boy.
All the lawyers that are watching this.
That's us. That's lazy boy lawyers. Somebody lawyers. I know you know our name. Say my name, Montegraph. It's Divinity Sled. Except for I did bully you out of saying Divinity Sled, which I'm very, very proud about. My 5 head cannot. It's undefeated, Monty. I'm glad you had to change your shtick. I wish you would have got a shtick that was more funny, but divinity fudge is all right. At least you Googled, what is divinity? Everyone else is like, oh my God, she's claiming Jesus. Like, no, stupid, it's fudge. And only Montegraph gets it, which is actually embarrassing. I don't know if I've done a poor job of explaining this, but like, hello, white fudge that's very hard to make and very temperamental.
In this case, why in the hell do you suppose he would even burp out a Colorado anti-slap when he knew for a fact I was in Illinois? And he acknowledged it on February 22nd of 2023.
No, he didn't.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, without stating the obvious, let's go ahead and look up a word and find out the definition. This is class and all. Let's go find out this word right here. Let's find out the meaning of this word.
What is it?
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the word perjury.
I like how Alyssa had to clip it there. It took this boomer so long to do that. He's finally got to the right page. Perjury from the Merriam-Webster.
The offense of willfully telling an untruth in a court after have taken an oath or affirmation. So again, Sean, did you want to opine?
Yeah, Sean.
Oh, please do.
Please don't.
And while you're opining, you may want to go to the...
It's a grift, but y'all are both in this lawsuit. You should probably both take some friendly lazy boy lawyer advice and shut the fuck up.
And read all of it. It was posted on February 22nd of 2023. That's almost, you know what? That's over a year ago. Did you want to chime in on some sort of procedural,
no,
thing?
Thank you for the invitation. Sean's not going to chime in as his lazy boy lawyer who doesn't claim him whatsoever. No, Sean's not available on that day. Please write your availability down and we'll get back to you, Mr. Quest. Request.
Would you like to chime in on this?
No.
What do you call this?
Retardation.
I'm being accused of forum shopping.
Yeah.
No, sir. No, ma'am. No. Would also someone like to chime in on how is it that I filed a lawsuit myself against Mr. Morphonius in the state of Colorado, and he was in the Carolinas, and my judge told me that I had the wrong jurisdiction, that I need to bring my lawsuit to his state.
Which I think is correct. I think when Nick hired Randazza because he knew he was going to need some fancy footwork to be done. Because Nick believes that anti-slap is unconstitutional. But he's willing to use something unconstitutional to fight for something he thinks is constitutional, which is First Amendment. So it is interesting little dance everyone's doing.
Excuse me.
Did you
The
fall?
lawsuit that I filed against Mr. Morphonius was the exact reason that I'm filing against Rikita. The exact reason.
You're trying to tell me that before Rikita said it, someone else said it, so your perfect reputation isn't as perfect as you started this 13 minutes ago telling us? This is why people should say less, or at least wait for your shit to be over before you feed yourself your own feet. You boomer.
Because, once again, Mr. Morphonius misspoke during a live stream. He sure the hell did. And
Great.
I sued him for it.
And you failed to state a claim, and it was dismissed, and you never brought the claim in Mr. Morphonius' state. He's not going to explain that to us, though. Mercada will tell you that he lost the lawsuit, which isn't true. He just needed to refile it, and he did not, because he's not a repeatophile. I'm going to see myself
And
out.
the judge told me, oh, sorry, you're in the wrong jurisdiction.
He's going to make a threat. The reason why I think he's going to delete this video, that's the only reason I'm sticking around to hear the threat. So as soon as we get there, I'm going to end this video, and you could unsubscribe for me because I'm obsessed with Montegraph and it's disgusting. Just kidding. Subscribe.
So let me ask you a question, peeps.
Yeah, peeps.
If I can't take a lawsuit in my own jurisdiction, which I already did once, and I was told to go to their jurisdiction,
which I didn't do.
Yet I take it to their jurisdiction. Now I'm being told it's a wrong jurisdiction. How the hell does a guy defend himself? You know what comes to mind?
What?
Taking the law in your own hands.
What in the son of a hell did he just say? He didn't mean it. As Montegraff's lazy boy lawyer, he didn't mean this. He's just a metaphorical speak. This is just, you know, in Minecraft, in Roblox, in Skyrim, wherever. He didn't mean none of that. He's just, you know, shooting from the hip, responding, if you will. We'll let it play out so he doesn't get all pissed that I didn't let him say. He knows he wouldn't do that.
What comes to mind? Not with me.
Never.
I wouldn't do that. Of course not. But that's what comes to mind. Because if I can't just...
He's going to say, he's going to back talk to himself again. Nah, he's just, this is just anger. This is nothing. Y'all didn't see nothing. I hope you feel learned. I hope you're at least empowered to go to the websites and find for yourself the documents, because honestly, there's his lens and he can only see it through his lens. Obviously, his bias is real and not unwarranted. We all have it, obviously. Same with Ricada. You know, Ricada's a little bit more, and he, you know, I don't know what's happening in Ricada's world. I feel like Monty has stayed very consistent in the way he likes to misread and misunderstand, misinterpret, and misrepresent shit. Just like he did about me personally, which is why I say this. He literally said that me and Lawn Lumber had 11 children together. No. I'm sorry. He said that we had children together, but that I had 11 baby daddies. It's something about reputation besmirching that I can't exactly recall now. Montegraff, I'm sure you do remember, because I know you're doing research about your own defamation case. There are certain shits you just don't say about people. Of course, you could draw squiggly lines if you're an old-ass boomer and your memory is that of a goldfish, or you have wet brain. I don't want to leave anybody out. So if you really want to do something, Alyssa Clips has been working absolutely overtime. So go subscribe over there if you're a YouTube person and you like the work that she does, because she doesn't get paid. So Alyssa, you got to switch to Rumble, dude. You get paid immediately. You would making easy. I don't know what. Let's see. Let's get back to this. 3,000 views. You're like this video, your last video, all of these videos. You'd be making decent money. Let's see if this video still exists. Did I tell you to take it down? That's why Alyssa needs to be careful, because Montegraff like to fucking play with the. He's a Keffels. I'm gonna say that because I don't think he knows what that means. Adios, y'all.